Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie technical analysis for today. Hopefully get some day trade setups out of this today. So yesterday, instead of continuing to the downside from the previous day's candle, we gapped up and proceeded to almost close on our high. We've got a bit of a tail to the upside, so we've ended up with a range bar. So this little bit of green here above this level here is nonsense data in the chart. So what we are doing right now is we have closed on this level. Okay, the level to the downside is pretty much right here on this fractal here, and we'll get the actual levels on the lower time frames. There have been a few developments in the US markets last night, so US markets kind of sold off into the close, and we're pretty much on average down 1%. 10 cent at the moment is flat, and the rand is weaker at the moment. Let's just double check what that was. It was 1866, now 1865. So, and it's come off a little bit from where it was. Okay, it was 1882 earlier this morning. Okay, so nothing really to read into the rand or 10 cents at the moment, but US futures are currently ever so slightly up 0.5% after being down 1% yesterday. So there's quite a big sell-off going into the close. Future US markets were holding themselves quite well, and then going into the close, sort of the late afternoon session, they sold off quite a bit. Anyway, let's get into the Aussie. So the first thing that is abundantly clear is we have a bit of a diagonal trend line here, and I want to just zoom out so we can capture this one perfectly. So there is the trend line, which pretty much is a channel. Okay, so there it is there, and that trend line to me at the moment is probably our line in the sand. So we all know that I'm not really a fan of diagonal trend lines, so what I'm looking for is a break of the horizontal trend line, which is going to give me confirmation of an entry. This can also be seen as a bit of a diagonal head and shoulders, another thing that I don't like picking, but what I will say is that this area here could be seen as a shoulder, head and right shoulder, or you could see this as a cup and handle. So the line of sand for me at the moment is 45.063. We need to get through that. If we break through that, we're starting to open up all these gaps to the downside. Okay, and I suppose from a technical point of view, a breakdown should just give us a channel as a target area, which if we just fine tune that straight onto this major level here and get the daily. Get a little bit down just to see what is here. We do have a bit of congestion here quite far in the past. Okay, so that's kind of the view. The other target area obviously would be the bottom of the channel, which would be around there. And I think let's fine tune that to that level there. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm picking up the fractals. There's a fractal, there's a fractal, there's a fractal. So those are the daily fractals, and we'll fine tune those in the lower time frames. So 3-hour channel that we're in, we could argue that we have had a change in direction here with the moving averages. We've come back to test that level. Ignore this last green bar, that is nonsense data. Okay, so we moved up pretty strongly through the day and then sold off into the close. Okay, did we reject a level? That's the other thing we need to be clear on. We didn't quite get to it. Let's just maybe just put it there. We'll look at that on the hour quick. Doesn't look like we got there. We just fell short of that. So often what happens when we do get to that area like this, and we fall short, normally what happens is there's a second attempt at least, sometimes a third attempt at that level. Okay, so we don't have an entry on the 1 hour, but if this test holds. In other words, this area here of 46,247, which technically is a level of resistance. Okay, this area here, let's put it on this fractal. So we've got two fractal tusks there. We've got almost another one. We've got another one here. That is also a level of resistance. So it was resistance. Then we broke through it, stretching for this level, and then we've got a sell-off to close below this resistance level of 45,979. Okay, oscillators group to the upside. We are sort of hovering on the zero line here on the stochastic MACD. In my view right now, this is setting up for an opportunity to get short. What is my entry? So entry right now is going to be a close sort of below that area there. Okay, so somewhere below 45,785 is what my close is. So I'm looking for a close below that. We can come down to our 15-minute charts. So what you may find is a gap below that level. That's also fine. Not an entry. What we'll be looking for is a move back to the upside and then move to the downside. Now, bear in mind that we have this level here as well. Okay, see double fractal here. Don't think there's anything else there. So this is a sort of an intraday level we need to pay attention to. So I think what we need to do here is just move the entry a little bit. Okay, so reason being, if I get in really close here, I've got this level where buyers may step in and I may come up and trigger my stop. The stop area here is pretty big at 365 points right now. So ideally what I want to see is a move below 45,803, so I move down like this, and then I move back up to test this level, and that would be my entry. Okay, then as it starts rolling, then what we can do is get in. So what we're looking for is some kind of price action like this, or like this. Okay, and then what you're doing is on your new low, which would be this bar here, is my entry. That way I have a 200-point stop loss and not a 500-point stop loss, and still got a good 400-point trade out of that. Okay, so pay attention to this 150 EMA as well. So we have broken above it, but I believe this is kind of consolidation pattern, quite a violent consolidation pattern here. Could be for a move to the upside, but I think the only thing that's going to get me long is to be above 46,247, come back, test it, hold it, preferably on an hour, and then that'll get me long. At this stage, there's quite a bit of interaction at this level. We've got some pretty big daily levels that we're playing around with right now. So my view right now is I'm looking for a short. Okay, so that's kind of the long short of it. There is quite a bit of resistance that's going to come up, or basically support right now. Resistance to the upside here, and we need to flip this one here. Let's just change this color quickly so we can just look a little bit further to the left and see if we see anything else. So you can see the significance of this area here of 45,975 that we've closed below. Look how often we have come up to this area. Okay, this red line here, yes, there has been some interaction there, so they're both fairly significant. Even looking further to the left, they are fairly significant there as well. And then we're going to have to go back really far to see the significance of that. So let's just get to the weekly, see if there's anything on the weekly here. Nothing that really stands up. So Everything is very choppy, but and I think the other thing that we need to bear in mind is everything is green still. The weekly bar right now is a very strong green bar. Anyway, that's we'll have to wait till the end of the week for that to play out, and then we can take it from there. So that's kind of my play for the moment. It's watching this level. I think this is these two areas here are probably the most important lines on the chart for this week. So that's 45,975 and 45,800. Those two levels are the ones to watch. We have got a day, sort of a daily close below this level, and that is 2 days in a row that we have attempted to get above this level, and we have closed below it. Okay, so that is significant in itself. The next level to see is to get some new lows, and we've got put that in there. You can see those two lows of the day. So if we come back to 30 minutes here and just have a look at that, you'll see that was a low of, when was that, Wednesday? No, Tuesday. This was a low of Wednesday. So that area is definitely what we need to get below, but then we've got this massive daily level here, which is 45,063. This one here is 45,248. So 45,250 is another line in the sand that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so just reading into that, guys. Break below 45,803 is what we require, but we can also use this 45,979. But just be careful, it could just sort of whipsaw around in between these two levels before breaking to the downside and coming to test the previous lows. That's kind of the trade I'm looking for. It may not happen. If we do sort of get above the high of yesterday and we get an hourly close above 46,247, all bets to the downside are off. And then I'm looking for this level of 46,247 to form support, and then I'm looking for a long to the upside. Okay, and the last thing on the hour is, if you look at the moving averages, trend is up. Only thing that's warning us is our oscillators, which there has been a crossover here, and we're pointing down. And the daily has been a crossover on both of my stochastics here, and we are pointing down, and we haven't crossed over yet on the stochastic MACD, but we are very close. So there are some warnings here that we should be looking for a level to get short on the daily, and that would set up a relatively good swing trade. But coming into the tail end of the week, 2 days to go, so let's see what transpires. It's still a dogfight at the moment. But I think this channel breaks are going to be significant. We're going to get some pretty big targets to the downside, which are going to be 43,390 and ultimately 41,863. And then we'll have to reassess to see where we are when we hit those two levels. Okay, but I think if we do get down as far as this, and we get through 41,863, and we get through here with a daily close below that, it's opening up all the way down to the downside. Okay, but for now, let's just trade what we see at the moment. I think level's going to be off the 15-minute. This kind of choppy action is difficult to trade, so you don't want to get involved in that. We're looking for some decent structure, and I think we may get it. To the downside, we've just got to get through 45,800, and we are targeting 45,248. If we don't make that work and we sort of bounce off this level, then we have the upside target, first upside target of 46,247, and if we get through that with an hourly close, then we have a relatively good swing trade, probably at the top of the channel to the upside. Okay, so that's pretty much me for today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.